With that,
River Festival.
I didn't go.
Okay, the hour being close enough to 7 o'clock, I'll call this meeting to order. Harry, can you lead us in the pledge? Thank you, Harry. I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttron.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shuttron and seconded by Councilman Berg. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. The first item on the agenda is a proclamation for National Night Out. So I'm going to read it and then we'll have somebody, I believe, from the police department that's going to address the council. National Night Out 2023. Whereas National Night Out is a nationally recognized night to bring communities and law enforcement together to enhance relationships while bringing back a true sense of community. Furthermore, it provides a great opportunity to bring police and neighbors together under positive circumstances. Whereas the National Night Out provides a unique opportunity for the city of Green River to join forces with thousands of other communities across the country in promoting cooperative police community crime prevention efforts. And whereas the citizens of our neighborhoods play a vital role in assisting the Green River Police Department through joint crime, drug, and violence prevention efforts. And whereas the police community partnerships, neighborhood safety, awareness, and cooperation are important themes of the National Night Out program. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Pete Rest, Mayor, do hereby call upon all citizens of Green River to join the Green River Police Department in supporting the National Night Out on Saturday, August 12th at Expedition Island from 2 o'clock to 7 o'clock for combined community events. Come meet and hang out with your first responders. Is there somebody that would like to address the council?
Yeah, can you hear me now? I'm Jamie Green, Public Relations Officer for the Green River Police Department. So we have been doing this National Night Out for several years, and we've kind of promoted citizens to have their own block parties, and then we come and visit, bring information, they can ask questions, we hang out, we let them paint our faces, or we do cornhole, or whatever they decide, and then we give out trophies or awards for best food or best entertainment. We've encouraged the neighbors to get to know each other, form watch lists or just call lists in case of emergencies. We've had several participate in that. We've had a lot of good block parties in the past. The Skinners, the Sundance Party, Locust Street, Ironwood, they all, kind of compete, show each other up. It's a lot of fun. So this year we decided to do something a little different and kind of host it. The Red, White Buffalo last year hosted a block party and brought in a lot of other agencies, and we had a big crowd and it was really fun. So this year we decided to host. None of the parties have to be expensive or elaborate. We just basically want to get out there and be there available for people if they have questions or concerns, kind of being on that level where we can speak to them in a more casual environment. This year, we're doing the block party, like you said, at Expedition Island from 2 to 7. We're going to have a touch truck, agency presentations. We're going to do a food drive, just have some people on there with Sweetwater Prevention, just having resources to be able to give out to help our citizens. Tata Chemicals sponsored our National Night Out again. Last year, they gave us $500, and this year they gave us $1,000. Gonna go towards the prizes we're having a cookout contest. So if anybody wants to bring their barbecue skills down, come submit a plate for maybe a trophy and a prize. Stellar Coffee is going to donate some ice cream at cost, so we can do a cups and cones while we're there. And then we're going to have popsicles, and we're going to have a obstacle course set up for the kids and shoot some Nerf guns with the SWAT team. And, it'll be fun. So hope we all come down and hang out with us.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions or comments? You guys, should we take a picture? Let's take a picture.
Thank you.
Good, man. How you doing?
Oh, okay.
Smile, come on, here we go.
Okay, next on the agenda is a presentation from the Green River Arts Council.
Hey, can you hear? Okay, it is on. I'm Judy Roderick and I'm with the Green River Art Council, and here's Tiffany Asher is also one of our council members. And we are here today to thank the mayor and the council for all the support you've given the Art Council over the years, and to invite you to our banquet that is part of our 18th annual Art on the Green competition that we have coming up. And then I was going to give you a quick update of what we've been doing, what we're going to do, what we've got going on, that kind of thing. And for those who may not know what Art on the Green is, it is a 24-hour live competition. The artists start Friday at 11 and they're done Saturday at 11. So, great time to come on down, see your artists. They'll be doing 2D and 3D. But that's not the only thing that goes on at Art on the Green. We also have a silent auction. So if you need some art, that's a good time to come on down and find some. And I should have pointed out, Tiffany is one of our artists. I'm not, but she is. We have a kids corner Friday evening for kids. They'll get a chance to paint, and that's all free. And then we have a Battle on the Green competition. It's a quick draw competition for those who can't spend the whole 24 hours. They get just a few minutes to study or we give them the topic. Then they get a few minutes to go research whether they want to use phone, laptop, whatever they're using to get ideas. And then they have to put that away. And then they have 30 minutes to actually paint their project. And so that's always fun. That goes on Friday night. And then we also, during this competition, during the Art on the Green, we will be revealing a new statue that we're bringing to Green River. And we'll just be doing the reveal. We won't be doing the actual placement because it will actually end up down at the dog park. So that's going to be done with the dog park group. And then in addition to the Art on the Green, we have partnered with Community Fine Arts Center. And since the last time we were here, we have actually done 2 plein air events. Because the first one we did right after Art on the Green, and that was just a little too much. So this year we did it before Art on the Green. So that was great. But we partnered with the Community Fine Arts Center in Rock Springs. And so last year it was actually in Green River. This year it was in Rock Springs. But that's turned out to be a really good competition also. And what it is the artist goes out in Green River. It was around the chamber, down the green belt, that kind of area. And they worked on their project, and it wasn't all paint. Most were paint, but we actually had someone did it with like a felt fabric, or wool.
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure what you called it, but so they bring their different way of doing it. And so it's a fun one too. And then this last year, we had our first annual Light Fest where we partnered with Riverside Nursery And that was a huge success. We had, for it being our very first one, we had about 790 some people we figured came through that. And we actually raised around 3,000 doing that. And then during the year, we had been doing some figure drawing sessions that we just opened to the public, where we provided a live model and they came up to the college once a month and we just drew the model. It was kind of fun. And then we, of course, are continuing on with our art in public places at the rec center. And what that is we get guest artists or artists, however many want to bring things. Right now, we have Becky Patton and RC Jones that have their artwork up there. It's on display and some of it is also for sale. And those two artists both also happen to be on our art council. And then the last thing I have to update on is we are going to have a couple of power boxes wrapped in Green River, hopefully by the end of the year. We've got them done. We've got the artwork already. So we're just working through the last final things for that. And with that, Tiffany would like to present you all with your invitation and your ticket for the banquet. Anyone have any questions for me about the Art Council or Art on the Green?
And your Cajun boil?
It is not ours, but it is actually at the same time. So it is Friday night. So it'll be August 18th.
Thank you.
I think they are already on sale, I believe. Yes.
Yeah, the ones for the first session go quickly. The early session,
I bet they do.
you got to get. Councilwoman Bushman, you look like you'd like to say something.
Go
Of
ahead.
course. Now, thank you so much for all you do, especially with Arts Council, all the volunteering that you do, all the planning, all the meetings that you do. It's evident with all the new ones that you actually put out to the city. And I'm excited. Actually, I did see the one that's going at the dog park, which is,
It's awesome.
it's close to me too, because, I know we both have lost our pets this year, but yeah, that's.
And we
love it.
actually will be looking for names for the statue after we do the retail.
Oh,
I forgot to mention that. We'll be asking people to give us their suggestions of what to name him.
nice. Awesome. But very good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Are you guys involved with the bike racks?
No, we
Okay.
have not been
Okay.
bike racks. Mm-mm.
Okay, that's the Parks Department. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Oh, next on the agenda is citizen requests and other community. Hang on, Harry. Next on the agenda is citizen requests and other communications. Are there any citizens in the audience that would like to address the council that aren't on the agenda? Harry?
Mayor, Council, it's a pleasure to be here, first of all. I'm not proud of the fact, but me and my brother have been drinking probably since we were drinking beer since we were 7 years old. We used to go up in Peoria, give some wine a few bucks to buy a jug of wine, and he'd buy us a couple cans of beer. And we'd drink it and puke all the way back to grandma's house. But then I went over to Germany, and Germany, they make everything good. I mean, jet airplanes, rockets, and especially beer. And I got my fill of it too. I've had 2 car wrecks in my life. And the last one, I said, God help me. And it came in form of a Mormon guy. He baptized me in a Mormon church. I tried everything. I tried 12 steps. I tried AA. But once I got baptized in a Mormon church, I quit. Then I could start doing good things like buying these flags for, that one I bought 50 of them for all county, the Wyoming Highway Patrol. This is before these tremors got too bad. I bought one for the fire department, one for each police department in Rock Springs and all 50 counties. And when the troops were in Iraq and Afghanistan, me and Lori Hastert, her husband was he passed away. He died in office and somebody else, Senator Enzi, took his place. Well, Senator Hastert sent me one of these flags. And that gave me an idea before these tremors got real bad. I got on there and I bought one for every county in Wyoming, all 50 counties, plus one for the lady that kept me straightened out. You got Uinta, you got Sweetwater, you got, I didn't want to double it. And well, some guy got me this in Wyoming. I'm proud of this. And I don't drink anymore. I would not disgrace this hat. But when the troops were in Iraq and Afghanistan, Lori Hastert, her husband, was a congressman. She and I got, well, they're probably grown up now, but got the kids in Green River and Rock Springs. First, we started out sending little notes like "Be safe," "We love you," things like that. Then we got businesses to donate little goodies, and we'd send them over to Afghanistan and Iraq. And for that little deed, I think it was Senator Enzi sent me one of these flags. And then I did this thing with the Highway Patrol and getting all 50 counties and got U1, I got the police department, the fire department, both here in Rock Springs. And Senator Enzi sent me a flag that flew over the Capitol. And there was when Senator Enzi passed away and Senator Barrasso took his place. And I did something else that I've gotten two handwritten letters from Senator Barrasso. And this is going to just here to show you what an old drunk can be when he stops drinking and does a little thinking. And I'm proud to be here and, proud to do this for not just for Green River, but for my country.
We thank you for all that you've done, Harry, and I know that that you were instrumental in we were doing a whole letter writing campaign to our veterans overseas, and you were involved in that. So I know you've been involved in an awful lot of things for a long time, and we very much appreciate all that you've done.
Well, one of the things I did when I was overseas is I had a German. I planned ahead. I knew I was going to Germany, so I got a little Berlitz book and taught myself some German. And I married a German lady, and she lives in Decatur, Illinois now. But I teach people when I go up. I just taught this young lady. I said, "Do you know any German? How to speak German?" She said, "No." I said, "I want to teach you 3 words. Ich liebe dich." She said, "Well, what's that mean?" I said, "I love you." So everywhere I go, I ask people, if they, my German is more extensive than that. I also speak Italian, Arabic, a little, let's see, some other languages, Mexican, but German's my second language. And I just thought this young lady here out of Ishli Badish, and everybody I go to, I ask them if, you know, if they know any German, and I tell them this Ishli Badish, tell it 5 times. Then they can go home and tell their wife, I love you in German. Now, there's nothing wrong with spreading a little love around in this otherwise hate-filled world. Since my wife passed away, I've been alone for the last 4 or 5 years, and it's been miserable, but it hasn't knocked my spirit down, and I'm going to do everything I can, not just for Green River, but all of Wyoming. And I told one pastor of mine, I said, one day people will you'll be able to walk up to a friend and say, Ishli Badish. And there won't be any sexual connotation involved. It's just, I love you, man. You know, but there's too much bigotry and hate and everything else in the world right now to go that far. But it's perhaps one day. But Ishli Badish, my friend.
Thank you, Harry. We appreciate it. Okay, next item on the agenda is board.
Any other citizens?
Oh, yes, excuse me. Go ahead.
Hi, thank you. My name's Susie Cook, and I appreciate you letting me talk for a minute. On Friday, July 28th, my husband and I had a violent attempted break-in at our house on Greasewood Street. The perpetrator pounded very hard on the door, busted out the glass, the stained glass on the door. It was very evident they were trying to get in the door. So we did call the police department. I yelled for my husband to get the gun, and I announced loudly, get the gun, and I'm calling the police. And after a few moments, the perpetrator left and the police responded. After taking the report, they came back just a short time later and told us they knew who it was. Directly across the street from us is a house for mentally disabled people called New Beginnings that we were not aware of. And from what I found out, most of the other neighbors in the neighborhood weren't either. I would be one of the first people to support the handicapped or the mentally handicapped. However, in just a very short time, it's been brought to my attention that there has been several, at least 3 violent calls to the neighborhood in the last couple of weeks, stemming from this residence. After talking to the police, and I understand they're very well intentioned, but they're so limited on what they can do. All they could charge the individual with was malicious mischief. And so that continues. I do understand that the people committing the crime aren't probably mentally capable of understanding what they've done, but it was very nearly a violent episode at our house and very frightening. I'm not sure what can be done about it. I understand there are 4 such residents in Green River right now. I don't think we were ever made aware of it in our neighborhood. And I don't know if there's anything you can do. I did also report this to the Wyoming Board of Health at the recommendation of the city council. But I do think that citizens should be made aware of it, that there are people of this status living in the neighborhood if the caretakers cannot contain them. Had somebody been killed in my house the other night, it would have been, they were mentally incapable of knowing what they were doing, and that would have been the end of it. So I would just like to request that this situation be looked at, and at the very least, residents in the neighborhoods of these facilities are made aware of it. There are elderly people and children that live in my neighborhood. My little nieces ride their bikes up and down my street, and I just don't want there to be any more victims. So, thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any comments? Okay. I'm sure we'll be looking into this in different ways. And I know that you've been given some letters in terms of appeals and things, that processes that you can do, but I'm sure it'll be addressed some more. Okay, now can I move on? Is there anybody else that wants to address the council that's not on the agenda or not addressing an agenda item? Okay, I'm going to move on. Board and committee appointments. Item A, appointment of Michelle Cordova to the Green River Arts Council. I'm recommending the council is recommending Michelle Cordova to a 2-year term. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Councilman Berg.
I move to approve the appointment of Michelle Cordova to the Green River Arts Council for a 2-year term.
Second.
Okay, moved by Councilman Berg, seconded by Councilman Kilpack. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? It's unanimous. Okay, item 8, council action items. Item A, consideration of the issuance of an open container permit to Badass Brews LLC. Badass Brews LLC would like to request an open container permit for the Buck and Badass Rally events. I'm not sure if that's what it's still called. That's the new, okay. On August 5th and 6th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. on both days, with the barricaded area on North First East Street from Flaming Gorge Way to Railroad Avenue, the sidewalk in front of the Buck and Bar, the side alley, and the alley in the back of the Buck and Bar. They are requesting the city provide the barricades. I'm going to entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttrin.
I move to authorize the issuance of an open container permits to Badass Brews LLC for the Buck and Badass Rally events on August 5th and 6th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. within the barricaded areas of North First East Street from Flaming Gorge Way to Railroad Avenue, the sidewalk in front of the Buck and Bar, and the side alley and the alley in the back of the Buck and Bar.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
Mayor,
Councilman Kilpack.
I just have a couple comments, and I want to thank Russell and Danielle for the way they have made the presentation at this time, and the way you have changed what your request has been. The way it was a couple of weeks ago, I couldn't support it, but I just want to tell you thank you. And as I was looking at your request, I can see that you're going to have 8 to 10 people for security, and that you're going to ban people either, I don't know whether it's probably 21 and above, so that they know that who the minors are. And I want to let you know, I do appreciate that very much. And because of the way that you have made that change, I can support that completely. And so thank you for what you've done. And I hope that your event is a good event. And so I really don't have anything else to say, except I I'm kind of perplexed, which would come to the next item on the agenda, on why they only want a catering permit for the 6th and not the 5th and the 6th. But that's
We'll deal with
we
that
can deal
when
with that on that.
we come to it, if that's okay.
But I just want to thank you, because you made a change, and for me, and I do want to say one other thing. I'm only one vote. So if this would have went through last week and I voted against it, and the rest of the council would have voted for it, it would have gone through just fine. And so just because I voiced my opinion and how I felt, it didn't have to have any effect on the rest of the council. And I do like the way you changed the name. I think that's a positive thing. So thank you for what you've done.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Is there anybody else on the council that wants to address this issue? Okay, is there anybody in the audience who wants to address this? Go ahead.
Do I need to duck so I can be on the camera, or? Anyways, my name's Russ Hemmert. I do own the Badass Brews, and the name change was not us. It was the guys that want to put the event on in our area. They changed it due to realizing that there was an event in Vernal the same weekend called Two Broke for Sturgis. Our goal here is not to step on anybody's toes or anything else. We're actually donating all the proceeds to a single mother in the community who's been diagnosed with a disease, and we want to help her out. And as a biker community, that's what we do. So as far as the open container permit, we're asking for that just so that people can be outside with their beer or whatever drink that they want to choose to drink. We will be banning 21 and older and have branded cups so that we can tell who's got alcohol, who's got sodas, who's got water. The soda and water won't be in branded cups, so we will be able to tell pretty quick if it's an alcohol and if they're banded, whether or not they should have such a drink in their hand. Another thing I'd like to point out, I know there's a few bikers in here tonight. We, as a biker community, we're really tight. We might all have different patches on our back, but we're all one big family. And in the 40 years that I've been in Green River, 30, 39, 38, somewhere around there, I've seen this, and that they've all got each other's backs. And during an event of this, they all come together, and it's all about the person that we're doing the event for. And there's never been any problems with it. We will have our own security there, just on the offhand chance that somebody does try and get a little out of hand. And I believe the size of these boys is 2X, 3X. I think some are even 4X. They're big boys. So we don't anticipate any problems. I guess Danielle just told me that we will be borrowing a scanner from the city PD to expedite the process of checking IDs and banning people. And from what I was told earlier, we'll have one check-in station so that people can go get their bans and do their whatever they want to do. And just because they have a ban doesn't mean they have to drink beer. Just means that they're over 21. And we are doing things like a slow roll, a keg roll, and I don't know if we've got everything set up to do the weenie bite yet, but little things that rallies in our community haven't been doing. They've been getting together and they're riding. The reason that that Joe has asked for the open container, her catering permit just for the 6th, is that Saturday will be mainly a poker run. The event will be mostly on Sunday. So she wants to be able to be out at the event and not have to be running back and forth to her place to get people drinks if they so choose We're proud to be sponsored up with Buck and Bar. And this is, the guys decided to change the name to the Buck and Badass Rally. So hopefully this will be the first annual and we can do this every year. And we'll pick somebody with the committee that we think, is going to need the help that year. That's just what we do. Do you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, any questions from council? Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We have a motion. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous. Item B, consideration of the issuance of a catering permit to the Buck and Bar. I'm not going to read this. We all have just discussed it. I'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Shatrin.
I move to authorize the issuance of a catering permit to the Buck and Bar for the Buck and Badass Rally event on August 6th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. within the barricaded area of North First East Street from Flaming Gorge Way to Railroad Avenue and on the sidewalk in front of the Buck and Bar, the side alley, and the alleyway behind the Buck and Bar to North First East Street.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shatrin, seconded by Councilwoman Bushman. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. It's unanimous. Okay. So you guys have a good event. Sure you will. I'll be down for tacos and things like that.
They're the best. Very good.
That's what I hear. That's why I'm going to be down there. Thank you, guys. I'm going to take 1 minute recess just in case you guys don't want to enjoy the whole meeting. Okay.
So you troublemakers in a couple of weeks.
Yep. It happens. It happens.
Thanks, Danielle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, Russell.
I never see it.
Hey,
Because I'm not
I'm working for some-
I don't see it.
It'll be good. Try that again. Try that again. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Permit, is that what the other one was?
Yeah.
An open container permit. Hey, thank you. Allows you to sell
Take care.
inside your store, and then the person that buys it will go out.
They go out, okay, I didn't know if you type over there, it's like, they didn't.
But they have, but they have to stay in, but they have to stay in the area.
Yeah, 'cause
They can't go outside of the day.
I didn't know maybe that.
Okay, we're going to reconvene. Item C, consideration of electrical services agreement with Rocky Mountain Power, the proposed wastewater treatment plant. I'll let somebody else talk about this. Go ahead, Jason.
Mayor, Council, Jason Palmer, Utility Superintendent. What this is an update to an existing agreement we had with Rocky Mountain Power. They've changed the way they're routing power into the new treatment plant. And this is basically the contract for that.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions of Jason? It seems pretty straightforward. Okay, we'll entertain a motion.
Mayor,
Councilwoman Bushman.
I move to approve the general service contract with Rocky Mountain Power for the electrical service at the new wastewater treatment plant and authorize the mayor to sign said contract.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Bushman, seconded by Councilman Berg. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. It's unanimous. Consideration of the notice of intent to request discharge authorization for stormwater from industrial activities for the Green River Transfer Station.
Back up again.
There you go.
So this is basically DEQ is updating their stormwater discharge permits. And the last time we had this, we had the inactive landfill. This is to actually change stuff over to the transfer station and get the transfer station permitted. We're still the owners of the transfer station, so we have to obtain the permit for it.
Okay. Thanks, Jason. Any questions of Jason? Okay, let's have a motion.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttrin.
I move to authorize the mayor to sign a notice of intent to request discharge authorization for stormwater for industrial activities for the Green River Transfer Station, and to authorize the Director of Public Works to sign the subsequent plans, reports, and other information as may be required for compliance with the permit.
Okay, it's been moved by Councilman Shuttrin, seconded by Councilman Williams. Is there any discussion? Again, seeing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Thank you, Jason.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttrin.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. So before we do reports, I'm going to start it so I can steal the thunder of the one thing I do. Well, I might do other things too on the first of the month. So our sales tax this month was $993,111.08, which is $243,111.08 more than we budgeted. 243,000, about 20,000 lower than last month, but combined, it's about $500,000 in 2 months. That's good news.
That's way good news.
And I do just want to remind anybody out there that it does not mean that we're out of the woods when you've got $280 million worth of road projects or whatever else. We got lots and lots of needs, but it's good news that the sales tax is trending upward. It's continuously. So with that, Mr. City Administrator.
No thunder left, Your Honor.
Mr. City Attorney.
I have no report tonight, Your Honor.
All right, Galen. Councilwoman Bushman. Did you need a moment?
Oh, I was just, so I just wanted to mention about the Spaceport Days, August 25th, 26th. You've seen a few videos that have been going out. I sent the second one to Steve today. Been posting on Facebook, the ads and onto Instagram. So the first one I put on the reel was 300, about 400 that viewed it, and another 400 just this last one. So we're gaining momentum of seeing, because we want to have more people attend. We have clues that are part of the movie. We're not going to tell you quite yet. We have some special treats for the kids. I just want to reiterate that Coltrane will be bringing the coffee. We're going to have the Boy Scouts serve the pancakes, and we have gift bags for the pilots that come in. So again, if anyone publicly knows of a pilot that wants to come in, please have them get a hold of the city and speak to Mark. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. I did have somebody call me that's a pilot and asked me and said it's going to be on his calendar. So I won't identify him, but Councilman Berg.
Speaking of those sales tax numbers, I remember Janessa with Sweetwater County Travel and Tourism had presented to us a couple years ago, and their big push was to see what we could do as a county and in the cities, Green River and Rock Springs, to bring people through here on their way to or from Yellowstone. And I really think that those numbers that we're seeing reflect the tourism. The business that I've had this summer has been off the charts. And to go, my family and I, we went through Yellowstone about a week ago, and there are tons and tons of people up there, but they do seem to be coming through here, because after we left Yellowstone, we went across Cody and over to Devil's Tower, and there wasn't the number of people up in the northern end of Wyoming. So obviously they are using Sweetwater County as a gateway to the national park. So it's great to see. And I think Janessa's done an amazing job, and what Rock Springs and Green River councils and cities have done to help promote that. So
Yeah.
That's all I've got, Mayor.
Good. And I would just add, and I think might have even mentioned this the last meeting, I did go on the bus tour, my wife and I. It was great, really worthwhile. And, you know, you can see the same thing all through Flaming Gorge, all down on those roads. You stop at, their stops are at Lucerne and Buckboard, and there's people there that I've never seen before with all the different licenses from out of state. And also on at the WHAM conference in Cody, going up and down that road. And you guys can every day on the interstate, the traffic is amazing every single day. So I do think that we're capitalizing, just beginning to really pick up that momentum and get that tourism diversification into our economy. So that's a good thing.
We also traveled through Evanston on Sunday,
Mhm.
and when we'd gone down to Salt Lake, the Pilot, you couldn't even get into the Pilot to get to the convenience store. And then on our way back on Sunday, we stopped at the Maverick, and the Maverick was wrapped around all the way down to Walmart and all the way out into the intersection, people trying to get in for gas. So even Evanston's getting some of that. So,
Well, good. Councilman Shuttrin.
Even though the Delta played in our favor this year this month for the budget, I'd still like to thank Reed and Chris and everybody that was involved in the budgeting process for holding tight on the reins and making sure that we could actually capitalize on this as we get it. So it's more of a boon than anything else. And I'd also like to remind everybody that this week is the Sweetwater County Fair. So if you have no plans, you might as well stop over and see what kind of entertainment they got going. That's all I have.
Yeah. Yep. Good point. Councilman Jost.
I have nothing to add to that.
Thank you, George. Councilman Williams.
I just want to throw a thank you and a good job out to the Parks Department, getting the shooting range looking really good down there and stuff. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks, Councilman. And I did hear that too, that I heard quite a few pickup loads of garbage came out of there. Councilman Kilpack.
I just want to second what everybody has said, but then I have two other things. Number one, we need to get with the highway department and block the tunnels 24 days out of a month so the people will drive through town.
Maybe not 24.
And then we get more business.
A couple at a time.
Yeah.
See where it goes.
Yeah. Number two, I would like to ask the council if they'd be interested in having a workshop on the fastest growing sport in the state of United States, not in the state of Wyoming, but in the United States, which is pickleball. I think
nobody plays pickleball.
I think
up
we
here.
should really jump on this and look at it and see what we can do in our community. I've been watching on TV that some of these communities are having massive events, and these old people are rich and they don't mind going and spending money. And so I think we ought to have a workshop, if you agree, and we ought to sit down and talk about that and see if what we could do as a community to try and promote it, make it possible that we can have some nice tournaments here, even though you do have a tournament once a month, don't you, Pete?
Yes.
And with that tournament, believe it or not, we get a lot of people from Rock Springs, Pete was telling me. And so I think it would be a noble thing to talk about it and see if there's anything we could do to help promote that. But that's the only thing I have. If the council's in favor of something like that, and we have a great grant writer that can get us millions and millions of dollars.
And thank you, Gary. And you guys can weigh in and let me know what you think about that. And we'll either have a workshop or not. Beg your pardon? Yeah. I guess I better not talk about the pickleball. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mayor,
Councilman Shuttrin.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
It's been moved by Councilman Shuttrin, seconded by Councilman Bushman. All in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed can stay here. We're adjourned.